Hey guys, we're getting people's opinions. We're out here in D.C. We're protesting for big booty Latinas. So what do you think about big booty Latinas? Do they deserve amnesty?
I gotta pass on that one, man.
What? Why not? You don't want the ladies to stay?
I didn't come in. We got Puerto Ricans and they're Americans.
Wait. So
They're red, white, and blue Americans.
You don't want amnesty for big booty Latinas?
We've already got our own.
Oh my God! What? Are you gay?
No, we've already got our own.
Gay, dude.
Look, big booty privilege has gone too far.
No! What is going on? These people are sick. What about you? You have to think big booty Latinas.
This is where I think we should send those big booty Latinas.
Get out of here!
No more big booty Latinas. Lock them up. I don't like them. Send them away.
This is like
put them there.
This is a black
Yeah, you put them
right
there.
here. This is a black white supremacist.
I'm the worst. I'm totally the worst. You couldn't even make me up, except I'm here.
What about you?
No, they should be safe, legal, and rare.
What? You don't want to protect big booty Latinas?
They should be safe, legal, and rare.
No, we don't want them legal. The more illegal, the less you have to pay them.
I know that. Go keep them, kick them out.
No!
My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. But break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. I'm your host, Alejandro Stein, and tonight is a very special evening. And I know I say that a lot, but tonight is extra special because we have a young legend, a young king. We actually have two young legends in the making. We have the one, the only Rex Jones. You might know his father. The one, the only Alex Jones. Rex, it's such a pleasure to have you on. And guys, we're actually about to have on Destiny, the internet's biggest left-leaning streamer. I don't know if he's bigger than Hassan. Is he bigger than Hassan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, yeah,
he is.
bigger than Hassan.
Yeah. Oh my God. What is that? Hassan is well, we'll get into sexuality without Nathan. We don't want Nathaniel on the show when we talk about those adult subjects. But before we get into that, I want to ask you, Rex, you know, how is it coming back into the spotlight? You've been really in the spotlight since you're about 12 years old, making content for Infowars. You kind of took a little hiatus, which makes sense, and now you're kind of coming back in the spotlight. So what can people expect from you, and what's going on? Why did you decide to come back out?
Absolutely. I mean, it all comes down to geopolitics for me, man.
Yeah.
Like, the world has become a different place since 2020. And we think about COVID and we think about the domestic stuff that happened to America. The foreign wars are what have done it for me. Because I used to be, as a kid, like, younger than 12, like 11, 10, like before I was filming, what I used to do was just watch like 12 TVs at Infowars all the time.
No, you would just sit there in the control room and just watch all the TVs.
I would just sit in there and watch all the TVs, and I really got addicted to news, and I was like that until I was like 17, 18, and then when I stopped being a reporter for Infowars, I was like, I got to put this behind me. I got to work. So I got into business and became a businessman. But what made me come back was just looking at the space. The internet is a different place, man.
It is.
It's wild. So I had to be involved.
And that's why I wanted to have you on for this very special evening, because you can empathize with and what it's like to have a father that's incredibly famous.
100%.
I mean, no disrespect to Destiny, he is obviously a very big streamer. Alex Jones was arguably one of the biggest media personalities of all time. I mean, he's a legendary guy. You know, he will last the test of time. But I think you would have similar struggles or similar issues with having a famous father. So I want to welcome him on, and I hope you can use this interview, and Rex, you do however you want it, but hopefully we can help mend the fences or empathize with him and help Nathaniel out, because I know that you probably needed somebody to help you when you're younger, and it always helps if you have, some good advice, right?
110%, dude. Yeah. Totally.
Let's bring on the one, the only, Nathaniel Bonnell, the young legend. Nathaniel, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fine. Think, no nervous. No,
dude. No need to be nervous. I'm a big fan of yours. Your Twitter is absolutely insane in a good way and some bad ways, but really enjoying the content that you're putting out. I'm not even kidding. And Nathaniel, even though your father and I have had some heat in the past, I just want to open up with this, and I mean this. I had some heat with my parents growing up. I think that's the natural maturation, process as a young person, especially with anybody with their dad, whether their dad's famous or not. So actually, instead of me bashing anything about your dad, I want to say that you probably should empathize with him a little bit, because it's not that easy. So with all that being said, I also want to introduce you to Rex Jones.
Howdy.
This is the son of Alex Jones, who is obviously, who he is, and maybe he can help kind of navigate some of the problems that you may be facing and can kind to help you solve those problems. Does that sound like something you're interested in doing, Nathaniel?
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you, brother. Like, before anything, like, I get it, and I know how it is to have a parent that is like notorious for various subjects and that is also like a character in various respects. And I know it's not easy. I remember being 17. At that time, I was like going around the Stop the Steal rallies during 2020, and I get it. I know what it's like to have people ask you questions about your dad and have problems about your dad, and you don't have to answer to any of that because you're not your dad, right? But
That's true.
Like, you're your own person, right? Like, I'm my own person, you're your own person. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, so Nathaniel, what do you think about that? Because you are, politically, you're different than your dad, and your dad blocked you, and I don't like to see that. I want to try to mend the fences. I think Destiny should unblock you, but how is it navigating kind of being a conservative young man, and your dad's one of the biggest liberal voices on the left?
It's kind of a big meme. It was expected by many. I went the way I am politically right now for different reasons than other people think. It hasn't really affected me too much. Of course, I've gotten bigger on Twitter over stuff I said and did. But it hasn't really affected me in any other way. And of course, me and my dad still talk, even though he blocked me on Twitter. I talk to him about every day.
Okay, well that's awesome. So that's good to hear. So
That's
you and
great.
Destiny are tight. And I didn't know if there was heat, so I wasn't even trying to insinuate that. I'm just saying, as a young man, it's normal whether your dad's famous
It
or
colors
not.
your life, doesn't it, a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel you, bro.
And you have started to gain a following. I think you're going to get a lot more followers after this. Everybody needs to go follow you on Twitter. You're saying some crazy, wild things that I'm sure some people would consider controversial. But can you tell us a little bit about you, Nathaniel? Like, how old are you? And I know we don't have to dox yourself, but you're in high school. Is that correct?
Yeah, ninth grade.
Oh, wow, ninth grade. I thought you were a little older than ninth grade. Wow. So you are a very young man. Okay.
Yeah.
Alex is looking at me very funny. I didn't know that. This is like having Matan on. Okay, wow. So how old would that make you? 15 years old, I hope?
Around like 14. I turned 15 March 11th.
Dude, he got you, bro.
Well, I thought you're saying very adult stuff on the internet, Nathaniel. You have a very adult vocabulary. Where did you learn that vocabulary?
Actually, my dad.
Yo, me too, bro. Me too.
Yeah, when my dad was living with me longer, I'd watch him stream and stuff like that, and I've been on the internet since like age 5.5 maybe. He's taught me a lot of stuff about the internet. He's taught me about how to use it correctly, how to like do research, how to have fun researching stuff, and I've just learned everything I know today from him, and I kept learning.
Yeah, your dad's very good at the internet. He's a very smart guy. I would never ever say Destiny's not smart.
But
and
your views are so radically different, as are mine from my father's. Like, I'm not a Trump guy. Like, I ditched that after 24, after I saw what happened. And like, Alex tap dances. He loves him. So like, for you, I've seen your views are more extreme than mine by far, 100%, but they're even more extremely further apart than Destiny. So how does that work? How does that go down?
Me and my dad don't really talk about like politics and too much privately. I mean, sometimes he'll make a joke about it, but we've never really argued about that stuff.
Okay.
Usually whenever I visit him and whatever, we chill, we have fun. We don't really talk about politics all too much, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, that's
I think
a
it's
good
nice
thing.
that,
That's
like,
a great
when
thing. I wish it was like that for me, let me tell you.
Why, your dad was just yelling at you about George Bush and his Tower 7?
it was
Tower 7!
It's worse at the dining table, let me tell you. It depends, it could be better from your context, and I've enjoyed a number of the rants over the years. He is the best, and I love him, and I watch the show all the time. I'm a huge fan. But at the same time, like, that stuff did get taken home.
It overlaps.
What you see on the show, and everyone always goes, he's method acting, he's a character actor, whatever. He tones himself down on the show, trust me.
Wow, that's a... What about your
100%.
dad? Well, how is your dad different on stream than when he's off stream?
He's kind of the same. If you met up with him in real life, you'd probably see it. He's not too different. He's more relaxed, chill, more personal, when like he's off stream. But a funny example, one time I was watching Vosh when I met up with him, kind of as a joke, and he like instantly started debating Vosh like through the screen, basically, telling me that Vosh was wrong about everything.
Do you debate with your
So
dad?
it's not too different.
But do you debate?
That's honestly cool.
That is cool, but I'm saying, like, do you debate with your dad not political stuff? Like, if you want to go out or you want to go hang out with your friend, are you, like, debating your dad to, like, get permission to do stuff?
Not really, no. He's not really, like, too strict about anything I do, really. I've never really argued with him. Especially when I lived with him. I loved always coming over and stuff like that. So we never really argued.
Well, it sounds like your dad's a pretty chill dad. I mean,
Yeah,
that
it sounds
pretty
like
cool.
Destiny's a good dad.
It sounds like he's a pretty good guy. Good for Destiny.
Glad to hear it.
I am honestly glad to hear that. But the fact that he blocked you on Twitter, I think that's actually, I thought at first it was a bad thing, but now it's a good thing because that means you're getting an audience and he doesn't want your fans trolling him. So wasn't there a movie that's out right now with the people from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Somebody messaged me called Mystic Lake or something where it's about a famous streamer's son becoming a famous streamer. Have you heard about that, Nathaniel?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, wow. There's we got to look it up. But is your dad? Do you think he would be threatened at all if you became famous? You know, like he is on the internet.
Probably not. I think he wants whatever is best for me. He's always like pushed me to do whatever I want to do. He's always like giving me advice and stuff like that.
Dude,
White pill.
I don't
Dude,
think-
Destiny sounds like a good dad, but you know what's funny though, Rex? This is the big point that we're missing. He's a really good dad, and guess what? He became an alt-right conservative. You know what I mean? It just shows you. It's like if you have a good parenting, you all of a sudden, it doesn't matter if your dad's libtarded. You're like, man, you know, your dad taught you to have good values, and I think that this is actually for me. I really am happy to hear all this because I thought on Twitter maybe I'll had some heat, but I'm happy that it's not that. So that's awesome, dude. That everything's good. Now You're on Twitter. What do you want for your future? Are you trying to get into streaming? Like, what do you think, you know, you want to do with your future?
Yeah, I'd love to do streaming. I've tried a bit. I need to lay a bunch of things out whenever, like, before I do streaming, I need a plan and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd love to do streaming. I also want to go to college. I want to do coding, web developing, maybe even work for my dad someday.
Dude, maximize your youth. I'm 22, I'm bald, and I've been through a lot. Let me tell you, you got all the time in the world to do whatever you want. And I've seen the way your dad does shows. They're very highly informational. I understand what you're talking about with prepping all those documents and the way he's able to file through them and rattle them off in like a sequential, intelligent way. If you're interested in doing something like that, you can learn your father's style. I've learned my dad's style. Like, it's something you can do.
And I think that's important to actually emulate people that are successful. So that's why
imitation's the most sincere form of flattery.
And really, you kind of got to see, like, you know, this is the other thing is like your dad, both of your dads are very successful, but both of your dads have had, you know, ups and downs. Like, so they've been through the battle. They're battle tested, so you can kind of emulate them. You know what works. They know what works and what doesn't better than, you know, we do. So, dude, this is all good news. I mean, I'm so excited, Nathaniel, to have you on. So let's talk a little bit, though. You are more conservative. I see you like Nick Fuentes a lot. So are you a big Nick Fuentes fan?
It's complicated. I don't agree with him on everything like other groupers do, but
Other
I
groypers,
am
are you
somewhat
insinuating
inspired
that
by
you're... So you're a groyper, is that what you're saying?
I could be considered one.
Wow, this is big news. This is, I mean, good for the groyper movement. They caught a big fish. Destiny Bonnell. I mean, dude, you're like number 2 in charge to Nick right now. I mean that.
Nick is the best broadcaster in the game. No one is as good as him. No one can do a better 3-hour rant.
I'm telling you, the guy's a good communicator, and I understand why the young people like him. And I go to college campuses, a lot of people, young and old, like Nick, so I can understand. But the fact that you're a groyper is very interesting because your dad and Nick were actually pretty good friends. I don't know how they are now, but they were actually very friendly for a long time. So I don't think he would be that mad that you're a groyper. Is he mad that you're a groyper? Does he know that you're a groyper?
Kinda. He thinks I'm being really edgy, but he thinks it's just a phase. He's not like mad at me for it. He thinks I'm probably gonna grow out of it someday. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But
it's
he
like the
makes
liberal
jokes about it
version of your
sometimes.
kid going trans.
Yeah, no, it's not that bad. See, and I have to say this too. You're in good shape. You seem like you're a healthy young man, so you're not like totally terminally online. It's not like it would be a lot different if you're like 200 pounds and, you know, you look like, you know, a morbidly obese torta or something. But you look like a healthy young man, and it seems like
You got a future, man.
You got a future.
You got decades, dog.
And I think you should. I don't always take my advice, but I think that if you lean into being more conservative, and your dad's one of the biggest left-leaning voices, I think that will make you successful, because people will always kind of go to you to counter-signal your dad. So.
Cover what you love, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a supplement guy because that's what I watched get developed as a kid, and I got into the science of it. Like, cover what you love. Talk about what you love, and if you do that, you never have to work a day in your life.
When 200 pounds, people in the chat are getting mad. 200 pounds is not that big, but you know what I mean? I'm saying for a 14-year-old, 200 pounds would be kind of big.
How tall are you?
Yeah, are you a tall kid?
5'5".
So do you play any sports, or are you just you're just kind of a baby debater?
I've played football for a few years. I've also done soccer, baseball.
Be careful.
Basketball.
Yeah, football, you're going to get CTE. We need to keep your brain sharp. I don't want you to hurt.
Dude, after the show, me and Alex are just going to bang our heads together.
Yeah, we do
some
that.
therapy, some cranial
We're like
therapy.
mooses in the wilderness. We're going to get our horns locked. Okay, Nathaniel, before we go, though, how can people find you and support you? The chat's loving you. Everybody's saying Nathaniel's the coolest. But how can people on Twitter and everywhere else support you in your upcoming broadcasting career?
All I can say is, like, I guess follow me on Twitter. That's the only thing I'm really active on. I get banned from, like everywhere else. I might be banned from YouTube for the age restriction thing, so Twitter is probably best place.
Wow, Twitter is the best.
Shout out to Elon.
So, well, yeah, Elon's bringing back free speech. But the last thing before you go, I saw one tweet. We don't need to pull it up, but you said your teacher was a Destiny fan, and then you said you tweeted, "I'm cooked." I thought that's so funny. I think that might help you if one of your teachers is a Destiny fan.
Well, he didn't say he was a fan. He watched my dad a couple of years ago when he played StarCraft. And he also watched some of the recent interviews he've done in 2022, 2023. And yeah, it was kind of a joke tweet, but it's also not, because I don't know how I feel right now, especially after a bunch of stuff that happened before, about people knowing that my dad's my dad, especially in school.
Yup, it's hard, isn't it? That's difficult. I know what that's like, man.
What do your classmates say about your dad? Do your classmates know who your dad is?
Not really, no. I don't really talk about it.
I think that's smart.
That's how you got to play it.
I think you got to kind of play it cool. And you're still young. Like, you're going to have, you'll have more viral moments, and you'll kind of get, the people will become more aware of you, obviously, as you get older. So you'll kind of have to navigate that. But I'm happy that we could introduce you to Rex. I hope you guys will follow each other on Twitter. And if you ever need advice on what it's like to have a famous father, I think Rex Jones would be a good guy.
Mutual respect and much love.
Yeah, a good mentor and somebody that could help you. And, ideologically, you guys are, pretty aligned. So I think that it would be good. That would be a good connection.
Well, I'm a little less extreme.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm just saying, okay, first of all,
less extreme.
yeah, first of all, that is my one advice. Your dad is right, though. You're being extreme for extreme's sake. And when you're young, you kind of just, and this is what happened to Howard Stern. It happens to everybody. It's happened to me. You purposely are trying to be extra edgy because it really doesn't bug you to be edgy. But then when you get a little older and more mature, you're like, damn, I shouldn't have been so edgy. So just kind of be careful. Your perspective does change as you get older. But I think be unapologetically yourself. Definitely be yourself. So don't be edgy just to be edgy. Be yourself. And your dad is right. Sometimes it is a phase, because sometimes you're passionate about one thing at a certain time and then you lose that passion. So you'll understand it better as you get older, but I'm happy to connect you with Rex. Rex, anything you want to say before he goes?
Dude, just good luck. Like, I'm trying to do the same thing, kind of. So just like I said, mutual respect, and you're talented, you're young. That's more important than anything, really. You got decades and decades of career. Like, I already blew 10 years, and that 10 years didn't go exactly how I wanted it.
No, it didn't. You're 22, dude. You're a baby, too, Rex. You're acting like you're an old man.
I've been around a while,
Yeah, but I'm telling you, you're still a
Yeah, but this was my whole life, So, I get it. I really do. And that would be my advice to you, is don't let the internet consume you. Like, the internet is not real life. Be grounded in reality. You talk about sports. Dude, just, physical strength over anything in this world, really, before after God, Yeah,
I do agree with that. That is the alt-right character trait you should have. You don't have to be like a total exercise freak, but you should be in good health and exercising and moving and grooving. That's the thing. That'll help your mental health the best. Now, dude, I guess did we miss anything, Jimmy? I feel like this is a very uplifting interview. Destiny's a good father. I feel like we learned a lot of good information. I think this went positive. Nathaniel, how do you think it went?
I think definitely better than I was told it would go. DCT really hated the idea.
Well, see, I'm a
Especially
nice
my
guy.
dad.
Hopefully that you'll tell your dad to forgive me for some of my transgressions, and maybe he'll look past this. I don't
This
think
is a legend here.
I'm a baby
It's a
legend.
free speech warrior.
I do love free speech. Maybe your dad will mend the fences, because I do agree that, like, you're gonna argue and fight with your dad sometimes, but it's like, he's your dad. He's got your back. Like, he has your best interest 99.99% of the time. The only time he doesn't, it's because he was wrong about. You know what I mean? Like, he'll always have your back. Is my point. And if he ever gives you advice and it's wrong, he didn't do that maliciously. It's just because he was wrong about something. So I think you really should listen to your father, especially Destiny. Especially if you want to be a streamer, he has a lot of good advice that you can, get a lot of good knowledge from. So awesome. Well, you got a bright future, dude. You're going viral. Everybody go follow.
Thank you.
What is it? Faceless what? What is the Twitter?
A faceless gospel.
Faceless Gospel, the new future. Young Groiper, I hope the Groipers all rally behind you. We need that. The Groipers, clip this. Nick Fuentes needs to have you on next. Are you ready to go on Nick's show?
I'd love to.
We're going to get you on there. Nick's going to have you on ASAP. Right?
Love
You're
it.
the man.
We love it.
You're the man, Nathaniel. Keep up the great work, young man. And do your homework. Take vitamins. Do not do drugs, and, you'll be okay.
Yep.
Don't underage drink. Don't do that either. Your friends are going to be like, oh, come to my house and drink. Don't do that.
No
Don't.
pills, no powders, young man.
Nothing like that. You can take an Advil if you hurt your ankle or something, but nothing else, okay?
That's right.
Seriously, it's a very dangerous world, and you got the damn cartels taking all this fentanyl and stuff. It's hard to be a young man, so don't even experiment with it. You're better off without it, I'll tell you that much. Okay, well, that sounds convincing. Sounds like you're going to be good. All right. You're the man, Nathaniel. Very base. Talk to you probably not for a while. But if you ever need any help, reach out to me or reach out to Rex, and we will. More than anything that I could ever do to help you, I would be willing. So please reach out if you need anything.
Thank you for having me on. God bless both of you. And
Appreciate it.
and good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are.
I love the Truman Show. Wow, baby Jim Carrey. Damn, dude, he's had a better call off than me. Damn, you're going to be successful. All right, get him out of here. Thank you, Nathaniel. All right. Oh, I got to do this. That was actually pretty good. What did you think about that? Destiny's a good dad.
That was uplifting, man. Like, I mean, me and Alex have had issues over the years. Destiny sounds like the family guy.
Yeah, he sounds like a pretty laid-back dad. So good for you, Destiny. And Destiny, if you thought I was going to have your son on and try to bash your son or something like that, I'm not that sicko. You are the sicko one, Destiny. Some of the stuff you said about me. So, I'm a
On hood.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm a pimp on a blimp. I'm just having your son on to help him grow and help him in the fences. But it looks like the fences are fine. So my job is done. I love that. All right, guys. Some bourbons chase trends. Flying Ace chases legacy. This is straight bourbon the way it was meant to be. Bold, balanced, and unapologetically American. No gimmicks, no fluff, just real whiskey made for people who still believe in hard work, high standards, and doing things the right way. Whether you're winding down after a long day or raising a glass with good company, Flying Ace delivers every single time. It's not about hype. It's about heritage and getting back to what bourbon was always supposed to be, baby. If that sounds like your kind of pour, it's time to level up. Buy online at flyingacespirits.com and use code BLAZE for free shipping. Flyingacespirits.com. Use the code BLAZE for free shipping. This stuff's strong. I don't know if you drink, but it's good stuff.
We have to experiment with that in a little while.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to. And this is a very experimental show. We had two famous sons. So, Rex, back to you. It's such an honor to have you on. I know we were giving
Appreciate you having me on.
Well, we're giving Nathaniel a little clout, but I think you really deserve a lot of clout. So I kind of want to get into like your perspective. So you're saying about how you differ a little bit from your dad, and you said you don't like Trump. And I tend to agree that I voted for Trump. I want Trump to be president, but when it comes to this Epstein stuff, when it comes to the decisions that he's making right now, people on the right, oh, he's an A, you get an A no matter what. I don't think it's an A even close to an A. I mean, I think it's like a low B. The Ukraine war is still going on, the Israel-Palestine war.
Well, you just touched on it. That's the key. The key is the foreign conflicts, and this is what's got me back into media. And it's gone a little bit comedic and a little bit fun. I'm happy to have fun.
Though. I'm saying you should be a little comedic.
No, 110%. But the gravity of the situation for me was in 2024, the day Trump got shot in Butler, I was in church, and I came out of church when that happened. And I went straight to the office. I did a 3-hour live with Chase Geiser, and I pulled the cross out of my shirt, and I told people to vote for that man.
Yeah.
And I told people to vote for that man because of what I thought he would do, namely around the globe, namely stopping the Ukraine war where you've got 1 million people dead.
Over 1 million. Yeah. I think it's like 1 million on Ukraine's side. It's like 500,000 on Russia's side. And he said he was going to end that in a month. And now they're meeting with Putin this week. So I think that
you have to have some positivity when you look at these events, but you also have to look at it and give people, like you say, a letter grade. For me, the letter grade's a D, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's not an F. Like, I don't consider him to be...
Well, January 6th was good that he gave those parties.
That was very
that
good.
Counts for
I
some points.
personally know people. I know a man that was in jail, slated to be in prison for 37 years, who got his sentence.
Which is
commuted.
ridiculous.
It is, isn't it?
They all deserved pardons.
And this is why I appreciate you so much, Alex, is because you are really a free speech warrior, and you're saying, baby legend, whatever, whatever. If we have people that don't exercise, or if we don't have people to exercise these rights, they go away.
Yeah.
So when I see you do these videos, when I see you do your man on the streets, when I see you even go into, the councils and whatnot and give your addresses, like, people can disagree with Alex and criticize what he says, but the fact that he's able to say it is something beautiful, and that's something we as a country have to be proud of. Do you know that people in Britain, they're basically like slaves?
No, seriously. I just saw a 13-year-old girl, because she was an unaccompanied minor, got arrested at McDonald's. Like, I was at McDonald's
I saw
every
that.
day when I was
Horrible.
12 and 13 years old. Like,
Yeah. See, oh no, we're gonna take you to jail. Oh, you got a license for that TV, buddy.
And that's really how they do it. Like the BBC, it's crazy. And I think that we are going that way. And something like,
It's very sad.
but something like Infowars has always woke me up about not just 9/11, but globalism. And that's why you're talking about geopolitics. It's so sad that America has to be the world police. I feel like that's that people say is our biggest strength. I think it's our biggest weakness, the fact that we have to get into all these conflicts. So, what do you think about America? How do you feel about us being the world's police?
I think we've projected our power for far too long on people that didn't want to have power projected upon them. And we've been given literally hundreds of chances over the years to right our wrongs and to fix our system, and we just haven't done it. And the solution to fixing the system is to stop spending all the money.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, this is kind of, and I'm not even trying to argue.
No, let's go there. Let's do
I
it.
know I'm saying I feel like we should spend less money, but what is it? I think I saw some stat the other day. The world debt is $314 trillion.
That's
like
wild.
the world is in debt to itself, so America is in debt. But then I also see that we're selling our debt to foreign countries, and because of the interest that we're not giving them enough interest.
That's
compared to
what
our
I was going to
GDP.
touch on.
Yeah, and it's only causing our debt to exponentially get worse.
Yeah, so like we've essentially, the United States of America, we issued IOUs to the world.
Yeah.
We did that for a century, and that worked until the currency became so degraded to where it is today, where a dollar is worth like 3 or 2 cents. And when it gets to be like that, people won't buy our bonds because the interest doesn't make up for the money that they're going to lose on inflation. So that is the core problem. And Trump coming into office and pushing through this big, beautiful bill, I view it as a disgrace.
Yeah, I don't really love it either. I mean, some of the stuff in it, it's like, I guess it's good, but some of the stuff, I don't know. What do you think about the conflict with Elon? I mean, Elon, I'm so happy he brought free speech back.
Dude.
There's something weird about Elon, though, too. He's having all those babies and, and making them sign.
Yeah, he's like, who's that? Nick Cannon's also doing the same thing.
Dude, he's the white, or he's actually not even white, he's South African. So he's an African-American like Nick Cannon, just having all these baby mamas. And I guess I don't give Nick Cannon as much heat, but I feel like Nick Cannon probably doesn't make him sign NDAs and hide. I feel like,
Yeah, that is a little weird there.
Because imagine you having a father, a super famous father, and your dad never being in your life, but he's a superstar famous. Like, that's almost worse.
Well, like, I imagine if, like, the dude that's worth $500 billion is your dad, that's like if your dad is, like, Superman.
I know. I mean, endless money. So you can have all the money, but then have no relationship with your dad. I mean, I just feel like that's probably why the kid's trans. Probably why one of Elon's kids are trans.
That's tough.
I mean, I'm not blaming Elon, but when you're, busy going to space every day, it's probably hard to be there for your young kid. It sounds like Destiny's a better dad than Elon, and obviously your dad's a better dad than
I love X. I want to stay on Twitter, please.
No, we love you. No, we're not hating. We love you, Elon. We're not hating on you that much. I'm just
joking. We kid. We have fun
I'm just
here.
saying, Elon's he likes the ladies, and that's no good, bad, or indifferent. He's just a ladies' man, and so, it is what it is. But, Rex, when it comes to your future, these supplements, you were just kind of pitching an idea. My biological stepfather, Tucker Carlson, he sells Alp. This is his thing. But what I want to create, and I don't know if you can help me with this, is where's my thing? I want to make one of these geek bars, but I want it to have like methane blue in it, like you have. So like when I smoke it like this, like a big blue cloud comes out.
Yeah, you want to vape medical dye.
Yeah, can we do that? Wait, let's open the blue meth. Let's open the blue meth right now.
Let's get the blue meth out. I've got some in my jacket right here.
Hey, come over here. Yeah, let's see. Oh, this is the good stuff. So this is the blue stuff. If we can like somehow.
That's right, methylene blue.
Oh, look,
BlueVitality.com. BlueVitality.com. BlueVitality.com.
Guys, BlueVitality.com. This is the best stuff in the world, and this is how I pop it. I I'll take about, let's see, 20 milligrams about.
Take 2 of them.
Yeah, you take 2 of them and a little Coke Zero to wash it down. Nothing healthier than that. There we go. Ah!
I just took mine.
I feel strong as an ox.
All right, my mouth. The mitochondria is efficient as hell.
Dude, your mitochondria efficiency is through the roof right now. I feel great too. I mean,
Dude, do you realize we just skipped 3 steps of the oxidative process?
No, and so our telomeres are going to be much longer
You're in
now.
oxidative phosphorylation right now, motherfucker.
And it feels good. It feels good like a
feels
mother
great.
trucker. Okay, now, Rex, let's ask you a couple questions that we asked him. What is it like, though, growing up, going to school, and everybody, I know you went to small school, but just even in your everyday life, having a famous father, what was it like for you?
It's definitely unique. It's something that, like I said to Destiny's Son, it kind of colors your interactions a bit. It's fun for me to, be anonymous, and that's like I pride myself on that. Like I drive a Tacoma. I'm low
Tacoma is
key.
arguably like the best truck.
Had it since I was 16.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying they're
200,000
great
miles.
trucks. I don't hate on it.
100%.
It'll go for 400,000, but a
My-
Toyota Tacoma is no truck to laugh at. It's a great
My
truck.
point is, I don't have a giant lifted Ram or F-250 with a bunch of MAGA stickers
You have a
on
very
it, right?
practical, good car.
I'm a
efficient.
practical guy, and what I learned from having people know me before they knew me, which is how I kind of describe it, that parasocial relationship, especially teachers reading an article, that's a very difficult thing. Got a lot of teacher hate. I had a teacher in junior year who I came into the class, and there were only like 20 kids in the class, right? And they're all watching the TV, and it's like a World War II presentation, but it's on Stukelnacht, the Night of Broken Glass, right?
Okay.
So he's giving this presentation, and he pauses it, and he goes, and this is what's happening at the border with Trump, and you, just like your father, are a Nazi.
No, he
Yeah.
did. Are you?
Now, little known fact, and I'm going to out both of us here a little bit. I'm more Jewish than Alex Stein.
That is true. Oh my God, they're going to clip that.
My mother is Jewish. Alex Stein's dad is Jewish, which makes him a fake and a fraud and makes me the real.
You are the real
mensch.
Jew. You are
I'm the real mensch. I need the little kippah and everything, except
Yeah.
I'm a Christian, so I don't do that.
Well, definitely, the Groypers are definitely going to be watching this episode and definitely clipping that. So thank you for that. But wait, go back to the point you were making before that, before you talked
off on
about
a tangent?
how we have more Mossad agents. That's what they're going to say.
Go ahead.
They're going to say, oh, Alex Jones knocked up a Jewish Mossad agent.
We gotta have fun here, folks.
Oh,
Look, it's the
great.
internet. It's wet and wild. We're having fun. You brought me on your show.
I know, and I love it, and that's why you are a badass, Alex. But what do you,
Where were we?
well, I kind of forgot. What were we saying
What do we
before
do?
that? What do we do? But what do you think?
Growing up with Alex Jones.
Growing up with
Yeah,
Alex.
the teacher, but he really called the teacher called you a Nazi.
Yeah, he called me a Nazi. So as someone with some of that blood, that offended the hell out of me. I was like, "Excuse me, like what the hell's going on, man?"
Right?
But I mean, like, I just got told, "Hey, it's the teacher's views, and it is what it is, and it sucks to suck." Basically, that's the story of my life.
When you
with
went to
dealing
the
with this
administrator or whatever, like, you got called a Nazi, and they're just like, well, the teacher has freedom of speech too, and you're like, that's
Basically.
not how that works.
Basically, that's how that went down. Yeah, and I mean, just throughout life, it's really hard, obviously, if you just see me on the street or if I'm shopping, like, you're not going to recognize me as Alex's kid. But people that used to see me on the show, that was super great, super positive. Everyone I interacted with as a kid, especially, like, I think being a child political pundit, Alex, that may have been a little too much, But it was the role that I filled, and I did like to do it. But meeting, fans, meeting listeners, meeting people even that disagreed, no one was ever truly cruel to me. The people that were cruel to me were people that hated Alex because of the 9/11 stuff.
Yeah, and I love
That was difficult.
I love your dad's 9/11 stuff.
Well,
I mean, that
people-
woke me up to it. Like that was
People
incredible.
would think that, like, oh yeah, the liberals would hate you, right? Because your dad is your dad.
No, it's Sebastian Gorka hates
Yeah.
it. So
No, it was-
Sebastian Gorka hates me because I talk about 9/11. A lot of the
Yeah,
conservatives.
no, it was the right wingers until I was like 10, 11, and then kind of the Obama thing started to take over, and Alex was very anti-Obama. So then,
Yeah,
I was
the
more
Obama
liberal.
Deception was like one of my favorite documentaries. That everybody needs.
Phenomenal films, man. My dad is a great filmmaker. You got to check out his works.
Dude, everybody needs to go watch the Obama Deception. But you, growing up, having this dad, controversial. I know that it doesn't seem like it's that challenging, but I think that it was actually awesome that your dad had you around because it just proves that he wanted to be, with you. That's how my dad was too. He always brought me on bail and stuff. So that's just so much love. It's almost impossible for him to keep you away from media if you're always in a media company.
And I got to both learn by osmosis parts of all the different jobs and the things that make a studio and make that media company work and the supplement thing. And at the same time, I was also able to frame it as in, okay, so how do I take this knowledge and figure out what I want to do? I always knew, and people would always tell me this, you're going to run it one day, kid, when I'm like 8, 9, 10, right, before I'm even filming. And even back then, I was like, No, you know, it seems like my dad's thing. You
Yeah.
know, and I love it. Like, it's so cool, and I want to see it all the time. But I'm not looking at it like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna this will be mine one day. No. But what I did learn was the blueprint there, and I love Infowars. My father is top 20 greatest broadcasters all time.
For
Biggest
sure.
fan.
I think he's probably top 5 broadcasters. I mean, like Walter Cronkite, I never watch. I'm just saying, like, he's in that level because for me, like 9/11 was a big wake-up call, and, you know, and then Loose Change, watching that documentary. I mean, there's some anomalies in it, but I'm saying it's generally all correct in there. And so, like, that's what kind of red-pilled me in 2015, 2016, and watching the Obama deception. So, like, I'm very you know, I have a lot of gratitude for that time in my life because, like, that was like my awakening.
That's really cool.
What I'm saying, it was Alex Jones that was like, you know, like, oh, you got to look into this. But you are right. It's the conservatives that cancel you. If you say it's weird that Tower 7, you know, imploded on itself and it's a 47-story building, it would be the tallest building in like 37 states, and it just falls down like it's a little.
That stigma is nearly dead. I will tell you, that stigma is nearly dead.
Because young people realize.
Because young people realize, and that's the thing. That's how far the Overton window has shifted. I've made this point a couple times, and it interests me just as a thought experiment. I've thought about this for a while now. Back in 2017, JRE episode 9/11 with Rogan, my dad, and Eddie Bravo, that was at a point where, like, Alex is like, oh, this extreme, crazy, weird guy, and then Rogan's like the moderate, you know, he's a guy, you know, you reason with his opinions, you kind of understand, and like in just like the overall political context. Now Alex is Rogan and Nick is Alex. Do you see what I'm saying?
that is kind of a nice transition. But and no disrespect to Rogan, Rogan's still one of the biggest.
100%. But Rogan's central.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, Rogan is.
Black Ops 6 sponsor approved.
Oh, and this is no disrespect to Rogan. I think his podcast is still good, but he doesn't want to get canceled. I think Rogan has, and back in the past, he would purposely do stuff like your dad or like Nick Fuentes because Rogan wanted to be purposely edgy on purpose. I think now he doesn't necessarily want to be that edgy because he realizes, you know, maybe the juice isn't worth the squeeze from all.
He's got a huge audience, man. You know.
But when he said CNN called him and said he was taking horse dewormer, I think that was really what helped Donald Trump win the election so much. But now
that was a pivotal moment. That was key where they made him green. Yeah.
Yeah, and they totally manipulated that photo. So I think, you know, Alex, like your father, you know, Joe Rogan, their opinions, you know, are kind of changing sometimes, even though I feel like your dad's been pretty consistent. But that's why I think Nick Fuentes is having a big audience because he's taking those risks that, you know, some of these other big broadcasters won't take.
No, 100%. And I mean, you look at people and the trajectory of things changed over time. Infowars, like, you're an early listener, you understand. It was way different before Trump. Right?
Dude, on YouTube, Infowars was the best channel on YouTube.
It was so sick. We used to post 5 times a day.
Dude, even Owen was good on there when he was first coming out on
Killing
YouTube.
it.
Like, dude, the YouTube channel was the best. There was nothing else to watch on YouTube at the time. It was literally the best. Like,
They took that from us at 2.8 million. And like at the time, Crowder had like 300K. Imagine where we would be.
Oh, you'd be huge. I mean, you look at the numbers on Twitter, and those numbers are huge. So they would.
My whole catalog, bro, like nearly 100 videos of mine.
I know, and you can't even get the videos back. That's the
sad.
biggest bullshit. Some of the most legendary content. And a lot of people like pirated it, but still, you can't.
I've retweeted a couple of clips. It's very cute to see me like 12 with hair doing little videos, but you know, it makes me sad because I worked really hard. You know.
Yeah. Well, speaking of somebody young, you know, Infowars actually was the one that put Matan on the map, and then I recently did a podcast with Matan. I think he was on Infowars like when he was like 12 years old, and I was just I was just talking to Owen. Here, let me try to pull it up.
Dude, that's beautiful. I had no idea.
You didn't know?
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Matan was on Owen's show.
Awesome.
Matan on Infowars. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. It's actually really funny. This is him. Look how young Matan is. Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude, that's the old studio. That's the legit studio, man.
That's Matan.
That's wild.
You can take it. Oh, look at this.
That is insane.
I can't hear it though.
That is insane.
I mean, I guess it doesn't even matter. We don't even need to hear it. But that's Matan.
It's wild.
That is insane. That's baby Matan.
Dude. And that guy's on another generational run. I really like his. It's a unique show. It's really well done. I love the crazy crackhead that just stands there and says nothing or like pops out of the trash can.
Yeah,
that is so cool. I love it.
Yeah, he is dominating. But that's crazy. Look at baby Matan. I'm shook. His show is good. And Matan will not like talk about politics too much, and that helps him get guests. But really, ideologically, he's not. He doesn't like all this transgender and all that, you know, and all this like weird gender confusion stuff. Okay, so you were talking about geopolitical problems. what do you think problems that people your age are facing? Because I know right now it's almost impossible to buy a home. So like your buddies that are, 22, 23, 24, 25, what is their biggest struggles that, you hear from your friends?
Yeah, man, it really is the money. I mean, like, I make good money. I'm a business owner. I have employees.
To be fair, I know your dad has had financial troubles, but your dad is also a very financially successful guy. You know what I mean?
Well,
So,
it's really weird because ever since the lawsuit stuff, really even before that with my parents' divorce and whatnot, it always felt like we were living in homes that were rented. And like that's really always been the way it has been for us. Alex put all the money that he ever made into Infowars. Like it must have been right before
your
Trump.
your dad's not materialistic at all either. You know what I mean?
They did like a $5 million ad campaign one year where they had like surplus profit. And they're like, okay, yeah, we're just going to buy blimps. We're going to buy planes. We're going to buy like billboards, all this stuff.
But brand recognition, your dad knows how important that is. And that's why they're trying to cancel him so hard, because he'd be so recognizable.
Getting back to what you're asking about the money, my point is I make good money, but I have to strategize my life in order to like make sure that the good money is still good enough. Like I got a roommate, we pay like $950 each to live in a house. That's really cool. But if you're in downtown Austin, I mean, some of these West Campus places, you're paying like $3,500
for they're $3,500 for like a one bedroom in Austin.
It's wild.
Places.
And I would also say, like, over-reliance on food ordering services. I've seen multiple people go broke that way.
That'll take all your money. Seriously, like, I understand if you're, like, in a huge hurry or there's some reason you can't, in certain circumstances, maybe you're stuck at a hotel, there's no restaurants close by, I can see maybe. But, like, literally, go out and go pick up your food. It'll save you a lot of money. And
yeah, the app's great if you use it for that, just go pick it up.
Yeah.
But that temptation is there, And
Are young people self-starters, though? Are they motivated, or do they feel too demoralized? And that's why they're, because
I think it depends. I think women are doing really well right now,
That's how it was during my age, that the women were in their 20s, right out of college, all had better jobs. And obviously some guys had some good jobs, but I feel like women are more successful earlier.
Purely on an income level, though. As far as like hustle and grind and like long-term career strategy, I see a lot of dudes in their young 20s setting up for like a decades-long career. Yeah. You're like, this is the thing I'm going to do. Trades are huge. Media is huge. Everyone's getting into media, and I welcome it. That's what we need. But at the same time, there is kind of a lackadaisical spirit around the country. There's kind of a sickness, like 38% obesity rate and all that. Like, that's not good for a society. And we're entering into a world where everything is VR, everything is online. I think Gen Z is a lot like Gen X. Mm-hmm. I think that in the same way that Gen X rebelled against boomer stereotypes, I think Gen Z rejects millennial stereotypes, like, oh, the millennial thinks they're going to college, right? The Gen Zer doesn't think they're going to college. That's a big mind shift, and I see a lot of that.
Well, and I think Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they know about 9/11. They know about these conspiracies, and that's kind of like what happened to you. I mean, when did you kind of get radicalized, for lack of a better word? When did you start realizing the government's full of crap?
When I found out that they recorded every single conversation you had on a device, when I found out that like the Xbox Connect spies on you,
everything.
When I found out that they put poison in the water, fluoride is literally poison. That's one of my biggest beefs with Trump, is that they've reneged on taking that out.
I know, they said they were going to take all this fluoride out. They haven't done that at all.
It was like this. We'd go into a gas station and I'd try to buy a pack of gum, and I'd bring it to the counter, and Alex would see me with the pack of gum, and he'd go, "That's got bacteria feces in it."
Well, it kind of does.
That kind of makes you think a little bit.
Well, I saw this study. They said that most of the microplastics, the reason why we have microplastics is they were getting a lot of it from the gum we chew. They say gum is really bad for microplastics.
That makes a lot of sense,
So I think there is something weird with gum. I don't know, and I love gum. I chew gum sometimes, but there is something weird. And we just have different eating habits. Like they said that the Indians used to chew some sort of gum that they made with like corn or something.
Well, the Central and South Americans, big reason why they did all that human sacrifice and whatnot is because their diet was too much corn, and it was making them go insane.
Really? So
that's interesting what's happening now, with all the consumption and whatnot.
Oh, wow. That is making people say.
Look into that.
We do need to look in corn intake, and I take a lot of corn. Maybe that is why I'm going crazy, Jimmy.
Dude, that's
right. So much corn because I'm plant-based pimp. I'm corned out. Okay, what do you think about all these young girls too on OnlyFans? Don't you think that's a bad deal?
Well, I think the 82 to 83 million dudes are enabling it. You know, like it's just like action consequence type of thing, and it's very interesting. I was having a conversation with Harrison Smith, and we were talking about.
He's going to be on the show tomorrow.
Yeah,
Sorry to cut you off. Harrison Smith's going to be on the show tomorrow debating Misfit Patriots. So tomorrow's going to be another major episode. It'll be great, but go ahead.
But I have this conversation with Harrison, and we're kind of talking about this situation, but in regards to women, in regards to the AI. he pulled out an article and I read it on air, and this woman, she breaks up with her husband because he's got too many band t-shirts. That was her reason, right? But she still got this vacation paid for, so she goes on it and she downloads a companion AI named Thor, and she goes to dinner with the phone.
Yeah, I've seen that. There's a movie about it.
But see, that's the porn for women, because they like the fan fiction and like the romance novels and all that. Like, we're truly reaching a point where no one is going to have children. I'm very pro-natalist, and anti-natalism is evil.
Yeah, but you know this as a young man, dating's hard. How is your dating life? You know, I mean, I'm sure because you're, you know, Alex Jones' son, there's probably, you know,
Been in a couple long-term relationships. I don't try it anymore. Number one, because it's expensive, and number two, just because I'm not there yet in my life. I feel
women
like
do
this
be
is the
shopping. I'm not even kidding.
Women be shopping.
Women be
shopping and shit. You know what I'm saying?
And you don't want to be shopping for a bunch of junk, but that's the thing, is this dating era with the like apps and stuff, it's so superficial. It's just like, it's hard to kind of meet somebody and have that really good connection because of the internet. But you've grown up extremely online, so do you think that we can actually right the ship? How do we kind of fix society's ills, in your opinion?
I think we got to see how it all plays out. You know, I think something's already been set in motion. I think there are different ways we could come out of it, but history tends to rhyme. Great Depression was in 1928. We're coming up on 2028. I think there's something there.
What do you think about, you know, I know you have a little criticism of Donald Trump, but J.D. Vance is an interesting guy. You know, he named his son Vivek after Vivek.
You informed me of this.
Yeah, I just
so
told
weird.
you this before the show, and they went to law school together. They're, you know, Yale, you know, colleagues. In Palantir and all these, you know, some of this stuff kind of sounds kind of spooky, you know, this governmental surveillance. And I actually go to D.C. a lot, and I think it's okay that they federalize the military, I guess.
It's a shithole.
Yeah,
I've been there 12 times, I know.
You know better than anybody, but I'm saying, when are they going to use the military martial law against us during the next pandemic? You know, now we're kind of just setting it, and now we have all these conservatives like, oh, I love when they federalize the military and use them as police force. Well, that's not going to be cool during the next pandemic when they stop you from going to church or they stop you from going to McDonald's and they have freaking tanks and curfews. So that's why I'm kind of worried about the predictive programming that they're kind of laying the groundwork.
Yeah, it's all so terrifying. Like, that Civil War movie, like, is disgusting that they made something like that. Yeah. That's wrong. That's worse than making like gangbang porn.
Well,
seriously, I believe that. You're inciting a whole nation to divide against itself versus someone doing a generic immoral act on video.
Well, yeah, that is kind of
That's how I see it.
Well, these
are real problems.
These are real problems, but this is what the social engineers, or this is what they say that the social engineers are doing. They constantly want us divided. They want men and women, you know, they want misogyny versus feminism. They want black versus white versus Chinese versus versus whatever. You know, they constantly want us fighting with each other so that we can't actually come together.
Ooh, I got an answer to your question, because I didn't have an answer at first when you asked like what we should do about it. We got to be pro-human. We've been huge on that Infowars since day one. That's the message. Pro-human, we're going to the stars. We're going to colonize dead worlds. We're going to green them. That's what we got to get behind, because that's such a powerful message. You think about all this domestic stuff and the wars and little political beefs and cultures that don't like each other. We could be voyaging the stars in 500 years, or we could all be dead.
Yeah.
So think about that.
And climate change is fake, right?
I don't believe in that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can
The Earth goes through heating and cooling stages. We're in a cooling stage right now.
What is your favorite? I get asked this all the time. What is my favorite conspiracy? For me, I really like the fact, I personally, with all my heart, believe that Michael Jackson was innocent. If you look at the news,
I've warmed up to that once hearing kind of how he was pressured to settle for that first lawsuit.
Yes, he was pressured, and you need to watch a documentary, it's Debunking Neverland, where you kind of hear about, you know, there's just a lot of stuff, and he was investigated for 19 years, and you know what it's like to have the FBI, you know, weaponization. If they come after you, they're going to get you whether you're guilty or not. You know what I mean?
We did have cars follow us around for about a year.
I'm just saying, if they decide to take you out, they're going to take you out whether you're guilty or not. And so I feel like Michael Jackson was a target, like your dad was a target, and Conrad Murray admitted that he went to jail for murdering him. But I just think there was a lot of stuff going on with Michael Jackson that people didn't like. And then, you know, in some of his last music, they don't care about us. He was talking about Israel. He was talking about this, you know, Jewish record label that, you know, he was disagreeing with at the time. And, you know, then he conveniently died. So I'm not saying Benjamin Netanyahu did it, but maybe.
Illegal thought. Illegal thought.
I'm just kidding. Benjamin Netanyahu loves Michael Jackson, and he loves Burger King. What do you think about the Nelk Boys interviewing Benjamin Netanyahu?
It was grotesque. sick, perverted.
I know, but would you ask him a tough question if Mossad was holding guns to your head? I don't
No.
think, I mean, I don't think you.
No, I wouldn't want Netanyahu to know I exist.
Yeah, I don't want him to know I exist. I just want to say I support you, Ben, no matter what you need, Benji. I love you. Your son, Yair Netanyahu, I'm sure he's going to have a fabulous podcast. I know he's openly homosexual, and so it's good. We need some more LGBTQ Israeli podcasts. That'll definitely help the movement and the propaganda.
I don't want a cordless drill to meet my head, you know? So we love BB. We love him.
We think we wouldn't use a cordless drill. They would just.
Well,
starve you to death.
I
No,
hear.
I'm kidding. That's a
real,
joke. They would never
real
do that.
quick. One of the things we can go back to the beginning of the broadcast to Destiny. One of the things Destiny did when he visited Israel is, you know, the IDF soldiers, when they clear the houses or whatever, they like to put on the clothes that they find and take photos in them.
That is weird.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot.
Destiny-
There's a Telegram group, and I don't encourage anybody to watch it, but it's all stuff from the IDF and Hamas. You know, both sides are doing disgusting stuff. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
I'm America first.
It's
so
people that get burned in the desert versus people that get burned by the desert. That's how I see it.
I've seen some stuff, some point blank stuff, or they're going in. I mean, I don't even want to. I'm mad. It's like when you watch those. What was it? What was the website where you'd watch the beheading videos back in
Live
2016?
Leak.
Yeah, Live Leak. Oh my! You watch one of those videos and you're
Yeah,
just.
cartel stuff.
You're just torn up. But this is the other thing is we can actually criticize Israel. And I was telling you this earlier. Personally, I've had so many friends, Rex, die from drugs and alcohol, and they weren't even bad drugs. You know, they weren't homeless people. They weren't even like that bad of users. Like my good friend Clark Gable, I used to work for this TV show Cheaters. We catch people cheating on their husbands and wives. And he was the host. He had a prescription for pain pills, ran out of them, bought some pain pills on the street. They were pressed pills. They weren't really Vicodin or whatever, hydrocodone. And he took one and died, and he had a tolerance. And that was fentanyl. So I know somebody that I worked with, that I cared about.
That's really tough. I'm sorry to
Dude,
hear
it's
that.
really bad. It affected me, you know, still affects me to this day. I'm not trying to act like a victim, but I'm saying I have concrete evidence. And I think China is purposely poisoning us, and that is a big threat that I don't feel like we give enough attention to, because we can't decouple from China. Like the propaganda war against China, it's just different than the propaganda war that's going on with Israel.
I agree. I mean, like, we are so reliant on the Chinese for basically everything we need, and Trump's approach to all of this has just been to tariff every single country and to just raise it and raise it and raise it. But he chickens out, he moves things around, he moves deadlines. I just hope, for the love of God, that the Alaska summit goes well and that him and Putin are able to shake.
Please end it. Seriously, you're hearing this from Rex Jones. You're hearing it from Alex Stein. Just end the war.
Please.
Just whatever. Y'all come to an agreement. Let the Ukrainians have a little bit of the Donbass. Let Putin have a little bit. And save some people's lives. Because I was just talking to a Russian in D.C. That sounds crazy. But my Uber driver was a Russian, and they were talking about this, and they were saying how Putin is never going to, he's never going to surrender, and Vladimir Zelensky's never going to surrender. And he thinks it's going to go on forever. But,
Oh, I'm Zelensky. I'm big Ukrainian man.
but they were.
I need nuclear weapon.
But the Russian was articulating, it's like, this is all about NATO. It's just such BS. So we have these conglomerate of countries fighting against each other, and the military-industrial complex is the only people that benefit. And
And
that's
they
what makes me
can't,
sick.
Alex, they can't even make the weapons. Get this, they make like 700 missiles a year. They need to make like 7,000 to even compete with the Russians. The Russians make what we make in a year in 2 months.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out. And that's Russia. Russia's got like 167 million. We've got more people than them. China's got 1 billion.
Yeah, we're
A
going to...
billion.
And I read that we can't even really go to war with China because we get a lot of the gunpowder and the stuff that we need to make ammunition.
The rare earths, which is why the Russians should be our friends, because they have the rare earths, but we can't make the deal?
I know, I don't get it. Why can't we why can't we come together? Why can't Vladimir Putin, I'm not saying we have to be best friends, but why can't we just be friendly? Like Switzerland seems to be okay. I don't know, and I mean, maybe that's not a good example, but I don't know why we constantly have to get involved in all of these beefs. And I'm not pro-Hamas, but I'm also not pro-starvation of kids. So I hate that we're constantly involved, and it's our tax dollars. When people that are struggling at your age, people are struggling at my age, more people are living with their parents now at older ages than back before the Great Depression. That's the level, of young people living
There are less possible futures for Americans today than there were 30 years ago. Think about that.
And, with AI even taking more jobs, it's only going to get kind of more tricky to navigate something. So do you encourage people to, like, that's why I know you want to be a businessman, but I think, like, art and creativity, that is important, even for if it's just like kind
Well,
of
I consider the business to be art. I consider the business to be beautiful. I've been in business for 4 years, and what I took from Infowars talking about earlier, saying I knew this operation would never be mine because it belonged to him, I appreciated the beauty of the operation, and I've nearly got it built for myself. So that's what I've been working on. That's what I'm passionate about. I want to liberate influencers from the slavitude of some like unfair affiliate marketing. Why don't you sell your own product? You can come to me, you can DM me on Twitter, do whatever. We can make something, white label it for you, ship it out. You're going to make a hell of a lot of money.
And everybody needs to hit him up. I'm going to probably try to do something with you. I think that it sounds really interesting. Now, kind of a hard question. What are some of the, I don't know if you said it earlier, I know your teacher got onto you, but what was the hardest thing kind of growing up as a young man, as Alex Jones's father? Like what was the, because the show's short, we don't have to go into too much, but can you tell us, one challenging story that you kind of faced?
It's the double-edged sword. It's the blessing and the curse. You're Alex Jones's son. That's who I am.
Has somebody been like, I'm not going to serve you, or have you?
Oh yeah. I've also had people take boots off my car for free.
Oh,
so
wow. See, that's badass.
Ways.
So you've had, badass. I'm happy there's
goes
some
both ways.
I'm happy there's a lot of info warriors out there. And Alex literally would be bigger than everybody if they didn't cancel him off YouTube back then. And Alex still is one of the.
You know what they said in court? They chopped my father's legs off.
Yeah.
That's the language of them. So just think about that and think about what Alex has done. And if you want to, go to the Alex Jones store and support him, buy a product or two.
Please go to alexjonesstore.com. Okay, guys, in a world that's gone fully digital, holding something real in your hands is almost revolutionary. That's what Frontier Magazine is. It's a piece of history you can touch, a tangible, lasting record of truth in a time when truth is too easily erased. And now Frontier Magazine by Blaze Media is back with our issue number 3, our boldest, most unapologetic edition yet. When you own Frontier, you own something that can't be buried in an algorithm. You can pass it to a friend, keep it on your shelf, and hand it to your kids or grandkids one day and say, this is what was really happening. And the only way to get it is through Blaze Unlimited. But Blaze Unlimited is more than just your ticket to Frontier. You get early access to exclusive events, VIP treatment, members-only content, and premium experience built for people who want to take their membership deeper. This isn't just about reading the truth, it's about owning it. Go to blazeunlimited.com/Stein right now and lock in your subscription. Before we sell out again, the first 50 subscribers who use the code BLAZE50 will get $40 off and receive a special bonus, digital access to Frontier issue 1 and 2, so you can complete the story from the start. That's blazeunlimited.com/Stein, promo code BLAZE50. What is this, Blaze parties and stuff? I've never been to one of these Blaze parties.
Yeah, because we're not subscribed to Frontier.
Well, okay, well, shoot, I want to go to some of those parties.
You gotta change that.
I know, we need to change that. Okay, let's talk about actually one thing, because we are in the house that Glenn Beck built. Famously, Glenn Beck and Alex Jones had a famous rivalry, and they've mended the fences in this election year. They came together. It was monumental. Glenn got millions of views. Alex got millions of views. But, at one point, there was a lot of animosity there, right?
Yeah, this is kind of cool being in like the rival lord's castle once like the treaty has been signed, like Glenn Beck used to bring Glenn Beck up around the house. My dad would get pissed. But hey, here we are. Love you, Glenn. Thank you. The Blaze Studio's beautiful, man.
Glenn has built something very nice. I love and respect Glenn.
Much respect.
And Glenn was really, he was on the forefront of 9/11. I think your dad was diving even deeper than Glenn, obviously. But Glenn did, talk about something that was very passionate to me. You were obviously, were you even born yet during 9/11?
I was born in 02, so no.
Oh, yeah, so you're born the year.
I've watched.
Damn, so you're a 9/11 baby. So your dad had 9/11, then he went and got a girl pregnant. Your dad's crazy. That's the craziest thing he did.
He's a dog.
You know what I'm saying? After 9/11, everybody's like, what's the world going to do? Your dad's like, I'm going to have a baby right now. And that is one of the problems. I was talking, I'm good friends with Tim Pool. I love Tim, but I was talking about it. People in Tim and I's age, and even the people who are younger, a little older, like when times were tough, 2008, people that were going through that are my age, they were like, dude, don't have a baby because the financial crash is so bad. And that's actually that's why like daycares and schools, enrollment at colleges are down. And it's all because of 2008. So I'm sure 2001 had that same kind of effect. I don't know it. I'm closer to 2008, so I can.
It definitely got the country ready for militarization.
Yeah, the PNAC, and then now they got the warrantless search and seizure.
ICE was created in 2003. Shortly after the Patriot Act.
Oh, wow.
And when you think about things like this, you start to consider them.
I thought ICE was a little older than 2003. Wow, that's crazy that it just came out after, 2 years after 9/11. That is actually wild. I did not.
It's a thinker.
That makes you think. And what about, 2 things before we go. I meant to ask your dad about this. Very good friend of the show. We love the Tiger King. We love Joe Exotic.
Fuck yeah.
Do you believe Joe Exotic deserves a pardon?
Hell yeah, dude. Pardon Joe Exotic, man. You pardon Kodak Black, man. Give him a pardon.
Thank you. He's going to clip that. And then what was the second question I was going to ask you? I can't even remember. I was going to ask you about Kodak Black. Oh, and now I can't even remember what I was going to ask you.
I got you.
What do you want to say? Well, you're just going to say I got you. Oh, this is what we need to do.
I'm sorry.
Before we go. You need a little smelling salts.
Oh,
You
yeah.
See the NFL. The NFL is not giving free smelling salts. You have to bring your own. All right, guys. This has been our show.
Oh, dude.
Rex, what's the website? If you guys want some of our
BlueVitality.com. BlueVitality.com. BlueVitality.com.
And we're going to be coming out with a vape that is so healthy, it will make you, it'll keep you hard for a long time. It's an erection vape. It is vape. All of a sudden, you're about to give it a lady.
Yeah, it's called Project 2025 Erection Vape.
Erection vape! We reinvented something badass. All right, guys. Well, we end the show the same way every time with a freestyle finale. So, DJ, I want to see you hit that beat. All right, let's go. We got Rex in the freaking Metroplex. I can't even freaking talk. Here, Rex. Real quick. I
didn't know about this.
Okay, I want you to grab a stick. Now, this right here, Rex, is the deep state. This is the globalist. I want you to show the globalist. So I'm about to rap, and we're going to hit this. All right, ready?
I got to take this thing off real quick.
Take it off.
A second.
Yo, I'm with my boy Rex, chilling in the Dallas Metroplex. Gonna hit a printer with that club. Then I'm going to the club. Hit it hard. I don't give a damn if it makes a mess. You're in Texas and you are the best. You broke the club. Stab it in the heart. Make that bitch pussy fart. All right, guys, that's gross. I probably shouldn't say that. That doesn't have a vagina. But, guys, everybody go follow the future.
On Twitter, BlueVitality.com. Go there today.
The future of America. And go follow Nathaniel Bonnell. Thank you, Nathaniel. Shout out to Destiny for being a good dad. Shout out to the one, the only Alex Jones for being, of course, a good father. And go follow and support Rex. We love you guys. Peace.